Hello, 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 and hello, and hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are we doing? Anzo's here.
What's up? What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Nothing. We're ready to go. So I like the introductions cease to be outside of you see our background. You know what time it is. LB, what is going on? What is going on?
What's up? Appreciate you having me back.
Of,
I'm good.
of course, of course, of course. And DL, how are you?
What's going on, everyone in the Widow Spear, and I just made that up just now. Widow Spear. We're gonna
Yay! I like it. I like it. Getting caught in the
Yes.
web, in the sphere, right?
Yes.
So, diversity hires human shield. Operation. You can't hear. Hold on, hold on. We gotta. You can't even see it. Let's just do this for a minute, in case you haven't seen it. Right? Operation Get Behind the Darkies is real. LB actually brought this to my attention. I believe also to a lot of people's attention out there on Twitter, right? So LB, kind of tell me, how did you come across this? This video the other day.
Um, I was on Discord and we was talking about the Obi Wan Kenobi episode, and one of the people was saying something along the lines that people are saying is woke. So, as long story short, I was like, all right, let me go on YouTube and see who's out here calling it woke. So when I typed in Obi Wan woke, I think is what I typed in. That video came up. So I'm like, Operation Get Behind the Darkies is real. I'm like, Darkies? Like what? Like, and I knew who MechaRandom is, and I'm just like, hold on, you're calling us darkies? So that's where it started from there, and I'm not for that at all, whether it's a joke or not. No.
And you actually tried to like reach out to her at first before you didn't you make it because you made a video. You tried to like get a response out of her on Twitter, correct?
Yeah, I reached out to her because I'm not one of those people that's like, let me go on YouTube and go start some drama. Like I reached out to her, and it's not like I was being disrespectful. I told her like this is unacceptable. Please change the thumbnail, and she ignored me. And I didn't put out a video until probably about 8-9 hours later. So, I was waiting. And nothing.
And she didn't respond. You put out the video, and still no
Did she
response.
see it?
Who knows? Like, no, I
No, it
haven't
show
been
no,
acknowledged.
no, because it shows that if you've seen it or not. If you sent it on Twitter,
Oh,
that's why I want to know if she's seen it.
yeah, I doubt it. But yeah,
Hmm.
she's yeah, that's her.
So, Lonzo, what do you think about this and MechaRandom? Because I like before, like I heard about MechaRandom, I'm just like weird because like with my YouTube bubble and the content that I watch, really, I like stick to like specific people. So if I'm not brought into, someone doesn't tell me about them, I really don't know who they are. My
Hmm.
first knowledge of her really was when she started saying the stuff about Millie Bobby Brown here recently. And then I found out like the history about who she is. Um, and you knew about her before. So what did you think of this, and what encounters and what information did you have about Mecha Random before this?
Well, I actually did know about this when I first started watching YouTube channels. I was checking out one of her channels, her channel, and yeah, right away I was like, I ain't liking this girl. And she does this fucking annoying, where every time she puts up a video or like a video, she snaps her fingers, and I just started to get so fucking annoyed with that. At that point, I was like, oh fuck this, and then she starts talking all the stupid shit that she talks, and she's on the long lines, and I'm gonna call someone else too along the same lines as fucking Nerdette Newsstand. You know what I mean? When the George Floyd shit was happening, I was in her comments all the time because she was just on oh, the cop didn't kill him. Oh, he was on drugs. Oh, he beat up his baby moms. Like all the same narratives, right? So, and I found her after Mecca. So I'm like, listen, these people are on the same type of racist bullshit. And now when I saw this, I was like, wait, Operation Get Behind the Darkies, like, what the fuck? I was like, who the fuck is that, right? And I had no idea it was hers until I seen other posts that actually showed who said it. Then I seen the one where it was she don't care about kids, and I'm like, well, then you were a fucking piece of shit because if, even if you don't care about kids, you don't care about human life. That's what you're telling me? You don't care about someone fucking getting murdered? Are you kidding me? And this is why you get these kind of posts. And to be honest with you, we're gonna keep getting these types of shit if we don't start calling them out. That's why I called out Nerd at Newsstand. That's why we're calling this out here. Because people think it's okay to make a fucking thumbnail saying get behind the darkies. Do they know the fucking history of that word? Does she know this? I'm sure she does. But yet she don't give a fuck, right? So fuck her.
And I know that the whole thing was that it's a South Park reference. Okay, I get that, but that's also an outdated reference. And it was absurd in the joke that they were making, right? And it's outdated, and they put it in the show, which was ridiculous in its own right. But it's also different in the sense that you know exactly what you're doing here when you're putting an image of a black woman who is the antagonist of this show, who they're all saying it's a bait and switch. You know, it's Reva, the Ghetto Inquisitor show. So you know exactly what you're doing, what your intentions were. You might not have said the word in your video, but you put this on the thumbnail and you did this for very deliberate reasons. DL, what is your take on this?
Okay, where do I start with this? Okay, so I don't like talking about other YouTubers. I don't. Even I've seen some YouTubers here and there that have said some horrible things, or have been so visceral against fandoms when when it's unfair. So it's like I've seen the whole spectrum. I've seen how the fandom menace is, but I don't really follow any of the fandom menace. Really, I don't really watch Geeks and Gamers. What is it? Who else? Doomcock, Nerdrotic, whoever the MechaRandom,
Babyface,
Babyface, and MechaRandom. I don't
Gary,
really
yeah,
Gary.
the
Who I
quarter
don't even
inch.
know who those two are. What you just
Yeah.
said. So I was like, whatever. MechaRandom, I haven't watched either. The only time the only way I knew about her is when other channels would talk about her, like Max on Movie Madness Entertainment, subscribe to his channel, and Poindexter Loud and
Yes.
stuff like that. They would talk about her, and the little I've seen from her, she seems very insufferable, very insufferable. And I just say a nitpick thing. This has nothing to do with what we're actually talking about, but I have to say her production value is terrible. And this comes from someone, a little channel from a 400 subscriber channel, and I'm looking at her production value, and it drives me nuts how she edits her videos and like structures the videos. It just drives me nuts. So I couldn't really watch her stuff. But like on top of her, just the crazy stuff that she says. Now this video right here, I didn't even watch it because first of all, I didn't want to give her views. Just from the thumbnail alone, I'm like, what? What the hell? What the hell? The Operation Get Behind the. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want you to get demonetized. But like the
I'm not even. I'm
oh,
there
you're not
yet.
even.
You can say
Yeah.
it. You can say it.
Okay, darkies are real. Like, I don't want to get too political right now, but it's like this is that. It just really made me mad. We already live in a time where Hollywood is prejudice or has some sort of like thing against hiring darker skinned actors and actresses. Like we're just starting to get more of a resurgence with it, with the Jordan Peels and the Ryan Cooglers, and King Richard came out as well. So that's starting to
Facts.
come back
Mm-hmm.
around, which I'm so happy about. But you people like this throwing out this garbage, it's just it just really makes me mad. It's like, and it shows how like ignorant she is. Like, and other people too. Like, did you not forget there are black people in Star Wars? There are dark skinned characters in Star Wars. So for you to completely ignore what happened before and just spew out this garbage is just insane to me. It's crazy how this fandom menace completely ignores facts that are actually in the shows and movies. They just contradict themselves so many times. But this right here just made me angry. And then somehow how she's trying to compare this to the shooting like made absolutely no sense and just shows how inhumane she is. Like, you don't care about kids getting killed Like that just I just oh my god. She seems to be mentally disturbed. That's all I can really say about this. Like I can't believe that people actually have the they actually are saying this stuff on the internet and they're getting away with it. Like
Yeah.
nobody, like he's not. She didn't get flagged for this. She didn't get blocked for this. She didn't get her video taken down. It took a whole bunch of people on Twitter and all this stuff telling her how bad she is. And her video's still up, isn't it? Her video's still up. But
Let
it's
me
like,
check.
but it's like other channels who say stuff that's not even close to being as bad as what she says, and they get taken
Down.
down for the little shit. So I'm like, it's. I can't believe this. I don't know, man.
Can I follow up on 2 points, Ashley?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Yes,
All right.
please.
So when you mentioned the South Park reference, right?
Hmm.
So she's using that as a crutch. Like it's a South Park reference. I'm like, do you not realize everyone doesn't watch South Park?
I
Right.
didn't
So
even know
like,
about that.
right.
Neither
Like
did
so,
I.
how can you use that as an excuse for one? And like DL said, like I don't do this YouTube drama because like for me, if you call out YouTubers, it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going, and I don't
Yeah,
like
you're
to
giving
do
them what
that.
they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it's getting to the point where it's just like, man, look, we can't continue to let these people slide.
Facts.
I agree. And like for me, I don't really want to give it life either at times. But I feel like for me, and I guess and you guys as well, I took so I just speaking of Obi-Wan as a show, I really, really liked it, and I feel like if you're giving me valid reasons, and I've had conversations with people who have valid reasons why they might have issues with Reva's character. It has nothing to do with some of the things that they're using here, that she's going on. And this was even before the show was released, mind you. So this video was released before the show came out. All right. She
Hmm.
already had an issue and was basing things off leaks, right? And things that she heard, nothing that was confirmed. And that she was a diversity shield, right? And instead of like saying, hey, yeah, there's nothing wrong with representation, right? As long as it's done properly. And I think that we all agree with that, right? As long
Hmm.
as the reputation is done um, the right way and it's not just about checking off a box. And I feel like that her character in the show at times, I feel like she does kind of overacts a bit. And I think that the arguments afterwards that she was too ghetto. That I don't think that she's ghetto. I think that sometimes culturally she's playing this character as a very strong black woman. And yes, she's a strong black woman in a Star Wars world. And what is wrong with that, right? In my
Okay,
opinion. And people have issues with that. And anytime that you are outside of what they might not perceive as standard or normal behavior, and when you see these like strong characters who are of different races, then they get these pigeonholes. She's ghetto. I mean, there's nothing ghetto about this
I'm sorry.
character.
She's ghetto because she's yelling and she's mad.
Right.
There was no slang that she spewed at all. No like lingo. So what do you mean she was acting ghetto?
And you know what? That's ghetto. That trope that they use. I went to a white high schools, right?
Hmm.
And that is what they used to describe black people with everything.
Hmm.
If we did something that wasn't what they did or do, that's
Oh, that's
ghetto.
ghetto. Hmm.
Hmm.
Like, like like you just said, Ashley, you had issues with some of her overacting. I took issues with the
Me
way
too.
she was acting with the character. Like you
Hmm.
can criticize black people in TV shows and movies without going to these racist tropes and stereotypes that these people continue to use.
Facts. Facts.
It's just
I had a
ridiculous.
like me personally.
Also, yeah.
I thought her acting was horrible. Like I didn't like it at all. But I'm not gonna sit here and talk about, oh well, they made this strong black woman. They even try to say how she was taking the shine from Obi-Wan. I'm like, no, she didn't.
No, she
Obi-Wan
wasn't.
Obi-Wan did his thing in the show. You know what I mean? I have a few Star Wars issues with the show, but other than that, I mean,
Now she took the spotlight away from the rest of the Inquisitors. I'll give them that. But it's
that
just
she
like
did. But
Hmm.
then again, it's what they're planning to do with her, right? They're making her the main antagonist. So I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue that the Grand Inquisitor, well, we don't know if he's dead, but got taken out too easy. But other than that, like, you know what I
Who,
mean?
like, somebody brought up the fact that he has two stomachs. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know that
they said
because
that.
I don't. I think it was Danny that brought that point up. I
Yeah,
think it was Danny that brought that up.
but
That you know,
the thing is though, they can't kill him because Rebels, he's still alive,
yeah.
right? So if they kill him in this, then it kind of retcons Rebels. So that's why people are saying he's probably not dead.
And like I at times I felt like I wish that maybe they went with a more stronger actress here in the role.
Hmm.
Um, but at times I feel like when she was extremely angry, but also this character, if we're all obviously from what we've seen in the opening of the show, she has a reason for her character to be so angry and to be so against the Jedis. And she sees that, they failed her. So that's where that anger comes from. But the thing is, the execution of it at times is off, and like my main issue wasn't even necessarily the her portrayal and the anger issues. It was all the flips in episode 2. Like it was just like
The
that whole chase
parkour
scene.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, that
really
was
didn't
bad.
like that. And that was not an acting choice. That was a directing
Right.
choice.
Hmm.
And then when people say that, oh, this is her show, Obi-Wan is not in the show, she's taking over. Dan Murrell broke it down, right? Her solos scenes by herself is what, around 10 minutes. He's in like what, 61% of the show is
Hmm.
focused on him.
Yeah, yeah.
61% of the show is
Yeah.
focused on his character.
You know
Right?
what? It's funny because if she was in the episode for 2 minutes, right? Then they would complain about the villain barely being in the episode.
Hmm. Now, you know what the problem is? They just don't want to see the black woman be like that, right? If that was
Yeah.
the Grand Inquisitor that was doing all those stuff, no one would have a problem with it. But it's because it's the black woman. It's like, oh, you see, they're giving the black woman the shine and stuff. So what?
Yeah, and I think
I
that they
think it's
would have
just
been like
because
that with a woman too. What was you
yeah,
going to say,
but
DL?
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. I think
Hmm.
just because she's a woman, she's a new character, and it's like pushing her so hard to be a lead, people are going to be upset about it regardless. Because apparently nowadays, if you have any new female lead characters in a Star Wars property, it doesn't belong for some reason. Even though there has been lead female characters in like all of Star
Everyone.
Wars, Leia, Padme, Rey. Like, come on now. Why are we now going against it? Like, oh, no
Yeah, but
females.
we don't talk about Ray though. I'll give you
Yeah.
later time. Maybe
I
we can
like
Yeah.
talk
Ray.
about
I like Ray. Y'all
Ray.
He
can
likes
whatever.
Ray.
I like
Yeah.
Ray.
And then everybody's a Mary Sue, right?
Everybody's a
Hmm.
Mary Sue. If a female character is strong in any way, that makes her a Mary Sue. So you want a
I
Yes.
weak,
mean,
frail damsel in distress? Is that what you want? You want to go back to the 90s and the 80s? Like,
Yeah, they
come
do.
on,
They
man.
and they do, though. When they see black women, they want
hmm,
Kerry Washington in Scandal.
hmm,
I mean, she's strong, but she's not she's a little bit more refined,
reserved.
a
Hmm.
character. She's a little bit
She's
more reserved.
what
She's acceptable.
yeah. What I forgot
Acceptable
the term.
Negro.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Acceptable Negro. There we go.
She's
Hmm.
a
And it all comes
safe
back to
Negro.
this, right?
Yes,
It all
Anza.
comes back to this. So, and
Now
that's
I
what I'm
admit,
saying. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
but say that I admit there has also been a stigma in Hollywood that there is the angry black woman stereotype. There is that in movies. So it's like this doesn't really help that situation, but it's like it's not it's she's not underwhelming because she's black. It's just how she's written. This has nothing
Hmm.
to
Right.
do with her
Um,
race.
I
Right.
If
And
she was
and
white and acting the same way, we would still have a problem.
DL.
probably would. You're right. But I'm gonna say this. Sorry, LB, just to
No,
cut
go
off
ahead,
real
bro.
quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Um. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say as far as the angry, like I would agree with you, DL, if we
Oh,
went through
okay.
this series, right, and they didn't give us an explanation on why she's angry. Then they would have a legitimate like excuse for that angry black woman. But I believe it's going to fully come out because I have a theory, but we'll get to that.
Yes, so I remember what I was gonna say. So yeah, it was on the angry back. She's a freaking inquisitor. How is she supposed to be? She's supposed to be angry. The other two inquisitors are the ones that they really like made them not as angry. But if you go back and watch Rebels, the Grand Inquisitor, he don't take no shit. You know what I mean? He don't play that. So they kind of made her a little bit more angry than them, but she's an Inquisitor, a Sith. That's what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say
No,
from a
no.
writing standpoint, I think that maybe where they downplayed it them so much, and where she is, and her character is so angry, and then at times the overacting, and then they automatically just go angry. There's she's being ghetto, but it's like just exhibiting emotions is a natural thing, right?
Mhm.
Right. So and I feel like at times when someone who is of a different race is exhibiting those emotions, then it becomes a problem. Or if it's a woman exhibiting those emotions, then it becomes a problem. It's just like female hysteria or angry black woman. It's any of those two things that you can pigeonhole these female characters in, which I find extremely ridiculous. Is how I feel about
they,
it.
Again,
they
if she was a
Absolutely.
different race and acting the exact same way, people wouldn't be complaining as much.
they acted like
Yeah, yeah, I
she
agree.
I was gonna say they acted like she was running around flipping. It was like, oh hell no, Obi-Wan, you ain't finna run from me. She didn't do
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Or whatever, and like, oh no, you didn't, like, or whatever. But still, that's still like, and I feel bad for saying that, even, because even sometimes we
Yeah.
think about those stereotypes ourselves. It's
Mhm.
been so ingrained into our thinking. Like I used to think, like, and I try not to say like hood, ghetto, somebody's acting hood or ghetto because it's such a negative thing, right? To do that and put that on somebody. But I remember I used to be
Right.
like, "Oh, she's hood as heck," or "You're ghetto." It's why? Unless, I mean, what is that? That is such a negative thing to say, in my opinion. Let's cut it out.
Yeah.
At
I
this
agree.
point, displaying emotions, and especially an emotion that comes from an angry place, is always negative when you see a black woman,
And
because there's that stereotype. And I remember when I was involved in theater, and I remember one time a director told me that he wanted me to like have this kind of like more sass, and like I felt very, very, very uncomfortable, right? Because that stereotype. And like I basically told him, I was like, I have a very that makes me feel quite uncomfortable, because there's other ways to exhibit, to play this character. Why do I need to play it from this like sassy,
Mhm.
angry black woman when I'm just sitting at a table and we're like at a bar and we just got off work? Like, why? What in this character, who is like written racially ambiguous anyway, needs to be played in that manner? And then he's like, "Yeah,
The-
you're right."
You see, the problem is that's how they see us. You know what I mean? Those directors and those producers, that's how they see black people. You know what I mean? Like you go back and you look at the history of some of these shows. Actors talking about shows. They're like, "Oh, can you be more black? And can you be this? And can you, act more black?" And it's like, well, how do we act black?
and
Yeah.
I was gonna mention, and they complaining about how she's acting right, but like, isn't one of the ways the Sith get their power is from emotion?
And anger.
And
Yeah.
Right.
anger, yeah.
So like, what are you people doing here? Like, she's doing what Siths do.
Hmm.
I'm guessing like they're
And
they're they're Xing her out because the other two Inquisitors aren't as impulsive as she is. So they're thinking like, why is she acting like this? Like she's out of control. Why did they put checker or something? Like I don't know.
And to say, like, I said, I don't really like her acting. Like, she's only been in like a handful of things. I think Danny checked it out. She's only been in like a few things. So she's not a veteran actress. My only issue is if you're going to go up against or, play side by side Ewan McGregor, then you want to get an actress who can hold her own
Yeah.
against him. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That makes.
think casting, yeah, and maybe Ewan McGregor took up a lot of the De Niro, and maybe they had to
True.
go
Yeah. Very true.
a little lower,
Right.
when it
Because
came
then
to
you got the CGI too, and then Ewan McGregor. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, well,
I mean,
And all these people they cast for these future Star Wars projects too. So it's
yeah,
like, yeah, we
Mhm.
get.
yeah, we're gonna have to hold on to these dollars. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to hold on to some dollars. But but that doesn't mean that maybe she can hopefully
Improve.
is
Oh, of course.
improves. Because like even though it's a different show, I said I had a lot of issues with Layla from Moon Knight when I first saw her.
Layla
As the
from
show
what?
progressed from Moon Knight,
Moon Knight.
Layla from
Oh,
Moon
okay,
Knight.
okay.
Just like I felt like it was very dry, like when we first in that first episode, and but and I think that she grew on me as it evolved. So hopefully with her, like, but I feel like she is not as bad at times from what because I felt like Layla was giving me nothing from an emotion standpoint. It was like,
But her.
you really want a divorce? But here,
Oh.
it's like you're getting that emotion. We're just getting a lot. So it's easier to rein that in than to pull it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From
I don't know. I
from
thought
something.
Layla's acting was a little bit better than hers, though.
Yeah, I
No?
mean, while Layla was
I don't know.
dry, this one was just overdoing it.
Over the
So
top,
it's like
yeah.
two different spectrums.
Yeah, like
Here, I want
her.
to pull up Perp's comment. Perp says, but what I want to know is how people think that this show is about Reva when she doesn't have much
Exactly.
screen time throughout both episodes.
Because she's
Exactly.
black. That's it.
Or because
Mhm.
she's the only one that seems to like. Well, right now, because the only 2 episodes, people are making all these judgments from these first 2 episodes. Like, what is going on? Dude, have you guys watch Grace Randolph, right?
No.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I
So,
do.
anyway,
I know who she is, but yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so when she was reviewing this, she said she said a lot of dumb things, but it's like,
Yes, she did.
one of the
We'll get
dumbest
into
things
some more dumb things that people said about the show. We're just starting with this one, right?
We'll start with this one. When she said, there was not enough screen time for Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
Really?
It's the
Really?
Look who's here. He heard his lady.
yes. Grace is out of control. I'm sorry, she's out of control.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, like it's crazy how everyone is just making judgments for these first 2 episodes, being like what? Okay, and she clearly didn't have that much screen time. Obi Wan was in most of these 2 episodes. It was
Yeah.
mostly focused on him. Like, what's
Absolutely.
the goodness?
I mean,
Leia had more screen time than her.
right.
I know. And
Yeah.
like, go LB.
No, I was gonna say, man, we're in a society where everybody wants instant satisfaction and gratification and all that stuff, and it's just like
Gratification.
people just can't wait and let it play out.
I agree.
agree.
And I agree. And you think because like they're all going off of like things that they heard about the show. And I'm not going to get into that in case that stuff is true, and I don't want to ruin that experience for them. And that's why they're like, oh, it's a bait and switch. It's really not about Obi-Wan. Just because maybe some character also has an arc in a show.
What? More than one person can have an arc in a show?
Oh my gosh. Imagine that, guys. Have you all ever seen some films called from the Marvel? Have you ever seen those movies? In the Avengers films? Weren't there 2 main characters who had arcs? Have you ever heard of Steve Rogers and Tony Stark in the MCU? 2 characters, right?
What a concept.
That had major arcs, but nobody gave a shit, really, right? Because it was 2 men, right? But you put a woman in a show, she has maybe, a strong personality or maybe an upper hand here or there, but your protagonist has to be challenged. He has to be challenged because then what do you have? What kind of show do you have? DL, do you want to see a show where your protagonist is not challenged?
Absolutely not.
Right. It's just like, man.
What's the point of you making this show if he doesn't go through conflict?
Not only that, I mean, even if it is a bait and switch, it's like, bruh, we know Obi-Wan's story. We know how his story ends. It's like there's only so much you could do with Obi-Wan in this period.
Facts.
Like you could, like we don't know what happens to Reva, and so it's like you could play off of that and do other things with that character later on if you want to.
And
But
she's a
no.
new character too. So like,
Yeah.
can we get excited about new characters?
Right.
Yes, that's why I'm glad that even though we did say like maybe we needed somewhat more experienced actor to go against Ian McGregor, I like that they got a new upcoming actress to work among the Ian McGregor. Like that's how you make new stars. That's how you make new actors and actresses, household names. Like yes, we need more new people. So it's like I don't know why this is a problem.
And not only that, with a new actor or actress, like being up with seasoned veterans, if they're serious about their craft, it will help them up their game for future things.
Facts.
Yes,
So
exactly.
people are just nitpicking about this show. Like, I really believe so.
Well, no, well, from some of the criticism, yes, but for me, there's a lot of Star Wars issues with this show.
Please
I mean,
get into
yes.
those. Yes, I'd like to hear those. Let's go and get into that now.
Well,
Lonzo?
for one, Obi-Wan is rescuing Leia, but in A New Hope, when she says the message, she said, "You helped out my father in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan. I need your help." So there's no recollection of her being helped by Obi-Wan in this show. So redcon right there, unless they do a memory wipe at the end of the show, and if they do that, I'll just think it's trash. I won't like that.
Now,
There are continuity issues.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Absolutely.
every Star Wars movie has it, but I could have a reason to combat that. I could say maybe Leia did that as like on a secretive thing, so it's like she doesn't get found out of what she's doing. Maybe, I mean that's a possibility.
Well, no, she sent the message to R2. She gave it to R2 privately, so it's only her and R2, so no one would have known the message. So she could have said, "Hey, Obi-Wan, you saved me when I was 10 years old. I need your help," or something like that. You know what I mean? But she
Yeah.
said Clone Wars, so it's no mention of him saving her. So that was one of my biggest issues with that one.
Maybe he don't save her. Maybe she get kidnapped again. Who knows?
Well, no, but he still went to she knows who he is now. You know what I mean? Like she knows Obi-Wan, and in New Hope she didn't know who Obi-Wan was. So
We'll see.
I
We'll see.
I have like a bigger like inconsistency.
Yes, please.
But like I agree with you on that, Enzo. But there's another one that really bothered me. How
I think I know what you're doing.
Mhm,
She
how
know
did,
Darth Anakin.
yes, well, yeah.
Mhm.
First one, how does she know that Anakin is Darth Vader?
Mhm.
And then two, how does Obi-Wan not know that Darth Vader is still alive?
Well, when he oh, sorry, he asked you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, no.
The,
Anyone, if anybody knows, then please
the,
go ahead.
the only one I could say is the one him not knowing Darth Vader was alive, because supposedly he thought Anakin died on Mustafar.
Yeah, because like
True.
I
But
have.
but if the Empire has been raiding, across the galaxy for all this time, he
True.
wouldn't have known
True.
about that
True.
at
Well,
all.
True.
Like,
Well, see, this is the thing. He left Anakin for dead. He probably didn't know Anakin turned into Darth Vader. So
but no, he does know because in Episode 3, he watched the hologram of Sidious, turning Anakin into Darth Vader. He saw that, so he
Right.
knows that he's Vader. So it's
Right.
like it's just so.
okay.
It shouldn't really be. Oh, yeah, I'm getting real nerdy about this, but it's like there should be no reason why he wouldn't at least have heard that Vader is still alive, because the Empire is taking over at this point, and they
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to different planets as we
Mhm.
established. So it's like the Empire never set foot on Tatooine since then.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't-
right. You're
I
right.
don't
I don't even remember the movies like that. So you might be right, but
No, you got a good point, because like it's been known, like Vader has been hunting down Jedis. You know what I mean? Like since Order 66, it's Vader that's been hunting down the Jedis. So how would you not know that Vader is the one? And if you hear the name Vader, you know it's Anakin because you've seen him turning into Darth Vader. So yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, we'll see what happens in Episode 3. I mean, if it comes out after these 6 episodes that like none of this stuff is actually explained, then yeah, we there's some problems going on here at Lucasfilm with with your writing.
Well, that's the issue. It's the writing for me. Like, I didn't hate the show. I didn't think it was horrible. I think it was better than Boba Fett. Um, so far, it's up there with Mandalorian season one.
I don't know if it's up there.
I
Man,
thought
I
the first
can't say that
episode
yet.
is up. Yeah,
The episode, yeah,
first episode is up there with Mandalorian. Then episode 2, it went down a little bit.
yeah. I
There's a
agree.
dip.
I agree.
There is a dip. There's a dip.
Yeah.
I really, really liked the first episode. I mean, I
Yeah.
liked the end of the second episode a lot, but there was just a lot of shenanigans happening in that second episode that I feel like I know a lot of people, and we'll get to this next, little Leia, right now. Like the running and her being a brat. What do
Oh
we
my
think about these
God.
people that are attacking the little girl, saying,
That-
"Oh, she's a little brat," but and I get some people saying, "Well, not all 10-year-olds are brats. They don't act like this," but she is a princess, right? She can be very spoiled, just off the history of the character. She's a 10-year-old kid. She's a little
Right.
girl. And I'm not saying all little girls, all right, are sassy, but like I said, she grew up in the lap of luxury, right?
Right.
She has never been away outside off that planet before, ever, right? She doesn't know who this man is. She sees him, she gets concerned. She thinks that he's, the reason why she's in this horrible state. She runs off, right? And they're like, "Oh, he can't catch her." I know from experience, and Anzo might be able to answer this question too. Little bitty kids can be hard to catch sometimes. I remember sometimes when we would be in public, they were 4, around that 4-year-old age. You turn your head first and they would take off running, and you would have to catch them because they can be quick. I'm just saying that. I just want to say that. Yeah, she caused a scene. She could have caught them, but here's a kid who's away from her family, who's never been away from them ever, in this weird, strange new world, and she's been kidnapped, and she's expecting the cavalry to come and save her. And when that doesn't happen, she's suspicious of Obi-Wan. So to me, it makes sense, even from a character standpoint, why she would be suspicious of this. Whoever would like to jump in first, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Enzo.
No, I was going to say, like, a lot of people complain about the chase scene, but like the girl is like 9 years old in real life. You want grown men tackling her like they're playing NFL football? Like, come on, bro.
No, I'm sorry. No. The chase scene, it was bad. It was bad. I was watching the chase scene. And I'm like, are you telling me you cannot catch this little 10-year-old girl, right? Then she slides under a branch, and the dude literally runs right into it. And I was like, the chase scene was bad.
Bro,
You're
Sorry, I have to.
You're
agree
talking
with
about that
Enzo.
chase scene. I'm talking about the one in episode 2.
Oh,
The
no.
one at the end.
Okay, well, the first one, that was bad. Second one, it was bad too, right? It's for some reason they have an issue with the chase scenes. But not only that, I'm like, okay, yes, you see Obi-Wan's picture there, but he's still trying to help you, right? He's still trying to help you. So yes, you smart enough.
Know that,
but no, she was smart enough to find out that she said, "Oh, you're the reason why I'm here." She says that to him, right? So if she says that to him, then you were being set up, but he's still there trying to help you. So why run?
She thinks that the reason why that she's in this position, in the sense that, "Oh, I've been kidnapped because of you,
right?
And I don't trust you." So I to me it made sense. So like,
I get that, but he's still there trying to help her. That was my issue. Like you risked your life over there to try and help her, right? And then she runs away from you.
And then then here's another thing. How come Organa never mentions Obi-Wan to her? Never.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a little kid, bro.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
like kids don't need to know everything, bro. Mind your business.
Why not? She's about to be. She's royalty. She's about to be queen. They're doing all this stuff. Like, why would she not? Why would she not mention?
Grown folk over here talking, bro. You don't need.
Hold on. No.
He's the reason why you're still alive.
No. DL is right. DL is absolutely right, because when she gets the message, when she sends him the message in New Hope, she obviously heard stories of Obi-Wan, which meant her father told her stories of Obi-Wan. So you're telling me he didn't tell her by the age of 10? Like those could have been bedtime stories, you know what I mean?
No,
So
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
know. It's just, yeah, it didn't make sense.
no. Now, if I could address the previous points
y'all
about
reaching.
Yes,
no,
please.
we are
No,
not
no.
reaching.
Mm-mm.
We're just
And
we're
I'm the casual fan, and the two of them are more diehard for me. So
Right.
I'm really trying to like take in what they're saying and tell
Like-
me why I'm wrong here.
like I know for a lot of casuals, like these details wouldn't seem important to them,
Mhm.
but you know, the more little details that they ignore, it's just going to cause a bigger and bigger
Facts.
domino effect with the
Yeah.
continuity. They already feel like they're retconning stuff, and it feels like they've been inconsistent with the
Mhm.
continuity since the Disney era started. But
Facts.
Yes, that is true.
that's true. Yes, and I'll even say, even though I adore Clone Wars, they contradict continuity as well. It just drives me nuts. But anyway, like
Well,
it's just
Ah,
George
Obi-Wan.
Lucas did it too. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
he
what I
ignored
mean?
his
He
own
did it too.
continuity.
He
it was
did
on
it too.
continuity. So it's like it just drives me nuts. Like if
It
if
does.
you're gonna be in the same universe, I just want some consistency.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you had a 10-year-old kid, you gonna tell your 10-year-old kid everything?
At
No.
least acknowledge that
There
the
were
one
Jedi,
person
Sith.
is the
Mhm.
reason,
But-
the one person that is the reason why these twins are still alive
But
is Obi-Wan.
Omar Diaz mentioned that it was kept a secret that she's a kid. She probably wouldn't have kept a secret of Obi-Wan being alive.
R-
So you got to think about that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she was told stories though because she knew who Jedi's were when she sent that message. She knew who Obi-Wan was in A New Hope, so that meant she did get stories. That meant she did
Maybe
get
when she
stories.
was
It could have
older.
been maybe when she's older.
Yeah,
it
I
could
don't
be.
It could
think.
have been when
Yeah,
she's
when she's
older, so
older.
you could bend that, sure. But
Yeah,
it's
Right.
just like it's just nuts that Organa just didn't even tell like legends of
or maybe they're
Obi-Wan or
going to use
something.
this experience. I don't know why she has more information about who Obi-Wan is.
I
But
guess.
then it doesn't make sense in a way. It's just like
Anyway.
the continuity is all over the place. Like I will say
Mhm.
that
It
from
is.
everything that I remember, but they also didn't go into the mindset, oh, we're world building and then all this stuff has to connect, and think about the bigger implications of this world. They did do a dodgy job at that.
They do, and that's why I'm really skeptical of Vader and Obi-Wan fighting.
Facts.
That I am.
very skeptical of that.
I am
Facts.
very.
This shouldn't even happen because in
Facts.
A New Hope he says, "When I left
Facts.
you, I was but the learner. Now
Now I am the
master."
master.
Right.
Exactly.
That was my biggest concern with this show when they said they're going to do a show and there's going to be a rematch. That was my biggest concern.
Mhm.
So I'm with you on that one.
Now Leia being annoying. Yes, I know kids are annoying, but does that mean I have to enjoy her being annoying? No, that's
Well-
not an excuse. It's
Well-
not. And trust me, I know how kids are. I grew up with a little brother, and I have little cousins running around whenever I'm with family. I know how annoying kids are. But
you see-
that doesn't make
Oh,
it any
sorry.
more enjoyable for her
Right.
to watch. It's crazy how we jump on Jake Lloyd in the Phantom Menace, even though she's almost being almost as annoying as he is. But this is okay for some reason. I don't know. Not saying she's bad. She hasn't gotten to the point where she's bad, but there are tendencies that she does where if she keeps, cranking it up, she may come off annoying. That's all I'm saying. And then the running part, I agree 100% with Enzo. Like, especially the run in the forest. Like, okay, in my family, when it comes to the adults trying to chase the kids, if they need to snatch up the kids, they're snatching them up real quick.
Facts.
So in my
Mhm.
family,
Yeah.
I don't see them out. never saw them like having a problem getting their kids. So I don't know. It may be different from different families.
Maybe because mine plays sports and they just had it naturally in them. I tell you, that little my son, that dude was gone.
But Ashley, you're
he
like
would be
5'2".
gone.
How fast can you run anyway?
I ran track and I can run fast. I'm
And you
some
still
reason
ain't catch
in one
your kids?
state.
You know what I
still
mean?
ain't catch your kids?
You know?
I mean, I would catch him, but he would be like, he could like do his little,
And
Ginger
here's the thing:
mood.
if they wanted to make us convinced of that, fine. But the staging of that chase scene was awful because they were
Yeah,
going like 2 miles an hour
yeah,
to make
yeah.
her seem she's faster than she actually is. And then instead of there were like 3 different points where I saw they could easily snatch her. But what do they do? Go nowhere. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
snatch the
Yeah.
girl.
I mean, that's just a TV thing. I mean, we've been seeing that for our whole lives, where people are chasing people and they can't catch them, and it's just like, this was easy. You could have been caught them. I mean,
That still doesn't make it right for them to keep
I mean,
doing it.
hmm
like I don't think it was the chase scenes were greatly directed, but like that's not something I'm gonna cry
There
about.
shouldn't
But
even be a
yeah,
chase scene if they shouldn't even try to like have it
Right.
stretch the logic that much. Like if they're gonna
Right.
catch the girl, catch her. Because if
Right.
she ends up getting captured anyway, why are you
Right.
making us go through this weird, awkward chase through the woods?
I agree. They could have surrounded her, picked her up like that, and be gone with her. Right? They
Go.
didn't. Yeah, they didn't need to chase her through the woods like that. I agree with you 100%.
I do
And
want to. Okay, go ahead, Anza.
no, I was just gonna say, and we do know there is a problem with the chasings because when you watch the one in Book of Boba Fett where they're doing the speeder chase through the city, that looked like it was going like 3 miles an hour as well. So for some reason, they're not doing these chase scenes properly. It's weird to me.
I agree. All the chase scenes are silly, but like the only one that I was like, I feel like people were over exaggerating was when he was trying to chase her. But like when when they were trying to kidnap her, that was a horrible chase scene. We've already talked about Reva's horrible chase sequence on the roofs. That was horrible. And then I feel like out of the three, the one where she's running from Obi-Wan, I feel like it still doesn't look visually great in my opinion. Okay. But I can
This is
see
not
the
alcohol,
notion
by
of
the
it
way.
hard to catch. Hey, if it was, I'd be like, take a sip for me. I'm just like,
Oh, I said, yeah. This is
yeah,
this is sparkling soda. I don't drink, so I was like,
yeah. So it's so I see it. I feel like the chase scenes did seem a little strange, like overall,
yeah.
But is she annoying to the point where there's an issue with this character
No.
overall?
No, it's just the way she did the lines fine. She worked off the adults fine. It's just her delivery, the little kitty delivery, it was a little much. It felt like she had the same tone for everything that she was saying.
she's not a 9-year-old actress, bro.
Okay. I'm tired of that excuse.
I thought she did a good job.
She was fine. She was fine. But it's just like I've just seen the whole spectrum. I've seen so many child actors, and it's like I just can't help but feel that there are other child actors who did a better job than she did. But she was fine.
Everyone can't be Anna Paquin, bro.
I'm not expecting that, but it's like if you're gonna get these child actors and give them so much
Dakota Fanning.
dialogue to give, just direct them a little bit better. Have them try to show a little bit more emotion.
There's only so many hours you can use child actors, bro.
I know. That's the other thing.
I enjoyed
if Harry Potter could do it, like, come on now.
Hey, I love Harry Potter, but look, bro, that first movie, come on, bro.
No, the first show was still
the
good.
acting. No, I'm talking about the acting by the kids. Like, come on.
Yeah,
bro.
they were still good. No, I say like Emma Watson was probably the best of the three, but all three of them were still really good.
Man, this actress was fine. You just don't like kids, bro.
Yeah, that's what he's those siblings and them nieces and nephews. He's like got PTSD. I do want to read Brill's.
I do it from that, but also I also have PTSD from really awful child actors. That's another thing where I'm just like, try harder. Anyway.
Braille says one of the problems that Obi-Wan show might have is the 6-episode format show, and it needs to be longer. I can see that here, but I feel like yes, she is the MVP, Jill. I agree. I think we need to be sweet to her. I think that she's great here. I feel like the moments where she kind of was like playing on that wisdom and being wise for her age, I thought that those were her strongest moments.
That was great.
When she read her cousin, I said, "Girl, what?"
That was good.
Like,
You made a joke on Obi-Wan that made me chuckle too. I can't
Like,
remember what the joke was, and then he was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, nothing."
see, it's moments
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
that
was funny.
like that reminds me a lot of like how Carrie Fisher would deliver her lines. So it's like, she has glimmers of really good stuff. It's just,
Well, what they're saying is that she was like, they were trying to make her more like a Padme type of character, and that's what they were getting her inspiration from. But she did a good job. I didn't have a problem with her. She did a better acting job than the black girl
Yes.
did, to be honest with you.
That's what it is. Yeah, when she's like,
yeah.
yeah, because he was like, if anyone
Oh
asks,
yeah,
you're my daughter, and she's like, maybe my
grandfather.
grandfather,
Yeah.
and she was
He's like,
basically
"Well,
like,
what?"
you have been through it. Like
Yeah,
life has not been so kind to you, Obi
yeah,
Wan. What
that
is
was funny.
happening? Because and then I also like earlier when, he stinks, he looks bad. Obi
Hmm.
Wan is going through it. We,
Yeah.
we get it. He's a broken man because he feels so guilty because
Yeah.
of what he felt like what happened with Anakin, right? So there's that. So let's talk about getting back to what Grace said. DL brought that up, right?
Oh
That
god.
there's not enough Anakin in episode 2. So
When there's
what do we think
there's
about the
4 episodes
reveal?
left. Anyway, sorry.
Well, what do you think about the reveal? And I know that people from a continuity standpoint have a lot of questions about that. But what did we think about Ewan McGregor's performance when he found out about it? Do you feel like that would be on brand for Obi-Wan? And then the initial reveal of Anakin in those final moments. Um, Anzo, start with you.
Well, first I'll say I wouldn't be mad if they didn't have Anakin or Darth Vader in this at all. I'm worried about that. But again, I mean, I was expecting to see him. I didn't think that they were going to hold off on Vader because they've been talking about him for so long. And to say that, oh, there wasn't enough Vader in it, that's because he's not supposed to be in it yet. I'm sure we'll get some Vader in it. It's called Obi Wan, not Obi Wan and Vader. So I have no problems with it.
And what did you think about Obi-Wan discovering that Anakin was still alive in that way
Well,
from Reva's character?
we talked about it earlier when we're saying that maybe he should have known that Vader was
Mhm.
still alive. Um, Reva knowing who Anakin is a problem for me. You know what I mean? That's a problem. Knowing Anakin is Vader, that's a problem for me. So, but his Ewan McGregor is always great with his acting, so he did a good job.
I think that it makes I think from what we're seeing in the show, from her being a youngling, which pretty much seems like she was at the little girl in the beginning when she's like, now what do we
Hmm.
do now? She would know who Anakin is, right? Just from her past experience is the way that I interpret it. And then now that now she knows who Vader is, and she knows that they're one and the same. So to me, for it made sense.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
everybody's supposed to think Anakin's dead, though. There's only a few people that know he's alive. And
but
Vader's not one to say, I am Anakin. He doesn't use that name anymore. So
I know he doesn't use the name anymore, but I think that maybe when they found her at those crucial moments, it was like right after, it could have been like right after,
no,
he
it
was
was before
saved.
it was before. All that stuff that happened is before him and him and Obi Wan have the fight.
I know, but I know that part, but I'm saying that they found her after the fight. That she was found later
I mean, yeah, but
and got pulled
But
in
yeah, but he mm, go ahead,
after the
LB,
fight.
DL. You were gonna say
Yeah,
something?
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but like, okay, so she would get snatched up by the Inquisitors later. Okay, fine, but how would she how would she know that
Right.
she's Vader? Like unless she sees somebody call him Vader when he's Anakin, or he proclaims himself as Vader. I don't see how she would know that. Especially because the other Inquisitors don't know that. It seems to
Hmm.
be the only person that know is
Her.
him and Sidious. You
Yeah.
know, So unless they explain it, in later episodes, when they go over her backstory, if she is one of the Jedi from the temple and she sees Anakin as Vader or something like that, then I guess it will make sense. But like right now, it it's just I don't know about that. But I guess you can go into my thoughts
Well,
about. Oh,
Ahsoka knows Vader too.
Ahsoka,
That's
yeah,
another one.
right, of
Yeah.
course, yeah. But Ahsoka's like gone.
Yeah,
No,
Ahsoka's
I'm just saying.
somewhere.
I was just thinking about people who knew he's Vader.
Right, but
Dale, you had another point.
well, I was gonna get into the Obi-Wan stuff if Enzo, if
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
okay, so if we're assuming that Obi-Wan is not aware of Vader's existence, the way he emoted when Reva told her he I he acted it fine, the direction that he was given, he did great with it. I just don't agree with the fact that he's not aware of Vader's
Facts.
existence at this point because of the Empire's reign over the galaxy at this point.
Hmm.
But and then as far as Vader's appearance, this last shot of the episode, it was cool in a BAFTA tank. That's cool. I don't understand what continuity thing people are complaining about with him. And then again, I have to iterate. It's only the second episode. Did you expect Vader to be in every episode of this show? You sound like those people that expected Vader to be in 90% of Rogue One, and that's not the case. So, come on. You got stop with the instant gratification. Let the story play out and you will possibly get your payoff towards later on,
I agree.
Be patient.
I see my
Very good.
grandma's rubbing off on you, bruh.
It'll be your thought
I
there.
I enjoyed it, like the reveal, and I never once expected this to be a face off type thing where Vader's going to be in half the screen time. Um, as far as the whole Obi-Wan knowing or not knowing, like that article I did share with you, like I
Yeah,
read
I'm
it.
gonna pull it up
Yeah,
right
I
now.
read it, and it's like the things they're saying makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, for me, I I, I just have to wait and see, and like at the end of the series, if these questions ain't answered, then we can come back and have these real deal beefs with why didn't they do this or why didn't they do that. But for so far, I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to seeing what's in number 3.
So kind of give me, because I haven't had a chance to read this article here. LB,
So
let's get
essentially,
into.
yeah. So essentially, the questions we had. Okay, how did Obi-Wan did not know who Vader was? Like it goes through that, and it also goes into detail about how did Reva know. So for Reva, they're saying it's simply she could be playing mind games with Obi-Wan. Like she doesn't actually know this; she's just talking. And then for like Obi-Wan, they're saying basically he went into exile, so like he
Mhm.
completely isolated himself from knowing anything about what's happening in the rest of the galaxy. And then they talked about how Tatooine is basically like not part of the Empire and all this other stuff. So I mean, what they're saying makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
the only problem with it is if he didn't know what was going on with the galaxy, then he wouldn't know Vader was hunting down Jedi's, and he knew that. So he knew what was going on in the galaxy.
Somewhat.
And I mean, I agree with the sentiment that most people wouldn't know, but I feel like with Reva, there are things that make it make sense. There are people that know, but I feel like with Reva, especially based off of her past, that her discovering it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibilities.
question. So I don't want to sound stupid, but when did they call her Reva in the episode? I just kept hearing them call her the third sister.
I think they know from the credits. I don't think they
Okay.
called her.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah, I
just
don't think
call her
they
the
called her
third
Reva.
sister. I
Yeah,
don't think they actually use her name in the
yeah.
show. I think
Okay.
that she is just referred. And I'm gonna rewatch them. I was gonna. I'm here in a little bit. I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna
rewatch
watch them too.
both
Yeah.
episodes again. Because like
After, oh,
that
go ahead.
first episode, I really, really, really liked it, and the second
Yeah.
one, I enjoyed it. Um, but just not as much as the first. And I'm curious on the second watch if uh I'm gonna feel differently, if I'm gonna enjoy it more or enjoy it less the second time around. I do want to get to Perp has a great question because we kind of talked about this the other day. It says the real question
Mm,
is if Vader talks, will it be James Earl Jones
it's a good question.
voicing? I think that when I was watching Chill Monger stream, they kind of brought that up because he was like saying, "Who is Vader? Is Hayden Christensen or do you think of James Earl Jones?" And then someone actually said, brought up this, whose voice is going to be coming out of Vader's. What do you all think about this?
So this is another thing that makes me very skeptical about Vader being in the show because there's a lot of questions with this as well. Since they're pushing so hard that Hayden Christensen, oh, he's back as Vader, back as Anakin, right? But like, how is he going? You're going to hear him speak? Are we actually going to see him without the helmet? Is Hayden Christensen going to take over the voice of Vader now? If James Earl Jones does come back, is he going to sound old and tired like he did in Lion King 2019?
For real.
Like, how are they going to handle
Hey,
this?
hey,
If
no
they're going to be
ageism over here,
flashbacks to
bruh.
the no. This has nothing to do with age. He sounds tired. He sounds tired. Bottom line. I'm sorry for all of you saying no one else can play Mufasa in Lion King. Well, you got James Earl Jones back, and he sounds like a grandpa. Like I'm sorry, no.
But his
Even if
voice is getting like his voice is so powerful, but his voice is aging.
his voice
You
is
know,
Yeah,
aging, and that's something
yeah,
you cannot fix. So it's
yeah.
like, and then it's like, are we going to get flashbacks from the Clone Wars? Is that why they're having Hayden Christensen come back? Like, I don't know if we will get that, but it's like they're pushing Hayden Christensen is back, so that means we're actually going to see him act, right? But how are they going to do that if he's full on Vader? With the breathing and the mask and everything. So that's what I'm really wondering how they're going to execute that. If now here's something that people aren't going to like. People are going to be like rah 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 in the comments. Y'all are probably going to yell at me, but I'm going to say it. If they decided to get a different voice actor for Vader, I would have no problems with that. If James Earl Jones just wants to rest, if he doesn't want to do it, get someone that's close. And I know there's someone out there that is close to sounding like,
There are.
yeah. So
and
There
I
are.
mean
You could watch the
they
Clone Wars and you could tell that it's not James Earl Jones, but it's the voice Vader sounds pretty spot on. So they can find someone to do it
because
if
I
he
don't
can't do
want
it.
Vader to sound tired too. Like I
No,
like
because
just
even
to
in the
get the act.
prequels, he didn't sound good to me.
I mean, but did you all see when what was it when they were talking about like how Mark Hamill was on set and the de-aging process, and they did actually have him record some stuff for reference, and then they kind of had to de-age his voice a bit
Hmm.
because his voice is aged. He's a lot older now, so he doesn't sound like his 20-year-old self. So that
Hmm.
could, I mean, like, even though Hayden Christensen, he's in the role and he's going to be, but we haven't really seen him be Vader, right? Like outside
Right.
of those few moments, so it would be, so they could possibly do something. We know Disney has the means, so they could have brought James Earl Jones back, possibly, but I feel like we would know about that too if he was coming back. I feel like they would have made that announcement unless they were keeping that as a
They're
surprise.
I
probably
mean, they
keeping it
did.
as a surprise.
I mean, they did announce that when with Rogue One. I guess a lot of people just assumed, oh, James Earl Jones is going to come back, right? They never
Yeah,
Hmm.
said anything about
yeah,
that.
that is true. That is true.
I
That
think
is true.
I think there's a few possibilities. I think if they show Vader without the mask, like they did at the end of the episode, they would use not Anakin, Hayden Christensen's voice, and with the mask on, they'll use James Earl Jones' voice. But I think to get Aiden Christensen's face, they'll just do flashbacks with him talking as like Anakin, and then use James Earl Jones for all the strict Vader stuff.
Or even if they show him inside of the mask, they could do like a Tony Stark thing, where when he has his helmet on, and then just they wouldn't necessarily show the mouth necessarily, because when you have like a weird voice, a fake mouth, unless it's just like Venom, like when they did that weird thing in the beginning with Woody Harrelson's voice coming out of this young guy, it made no sense whatsoever. Unless they did something like that, but I feel like that would be weird.
That'd be
if
very
they did something
artsy.
like that.
Yeah, it's like a very,
Mhm.
it's like a very artsy choice.
Yes. Darkstar has a good, he wants to know, he says, there's some speculation saying that Reva could be Vader's apprentice, and that's why she has a fixation on Obi-Wan of wanting to capture him so badly.
He got so many apprentices. Well, if you count canon and non-canon stuff, but like Vader got so many apprentices.
Yeah. I heard that too, but can he have an apprentice when he's already Palpatine's apprentice?
That's the thing. The only way he could have an apprentice is if Sidious doesn't know about it.
Right. Yeah.
And we know Sidious knows everything.
Right.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. When he found out Darth Maul got an apprentice, like, nope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He would be. It would be fire. He's not supposed to. Yeah.
It's just very interesting what they're doing with this series so far. I'm still on board. I'm still gonna watch it. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna be up there watching it. It's Star Wars. I hope it gets better. I really do. Every time I watch a Star Wars property, I always hope it's better. So.
And I was like so hyped. I remember like I got up to watch it. And I was like, oh, it's tight. It's fire. And then Anzo watched it. He was like, meh.
Yeah. It's funny because we're like, yeah, we're gonna do the watch party, and I was thinking it was coming on Friday night when it actually was the Thursday. You know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah, they released it earlier. Like they released it. They didn't even release it at 3 a.m. So like,
really?
They wouldn't it like at 9 p.m. Pacific time. It was like midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Really?
When it was released, I believe. Yeah. I was like sleep. Wow. And I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and watched it. But they originally, I think that's what it was for the people on the West Coast. They got it at 9 p.m. and then Eastern Standard Time was at midnight.
Good. Well, I hope they fucking do that from now on.
I don't think so. I think that was, I mean, maybe, but I think that was just because of Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
Because just because it was the great week that it was, I don't think that it'll happen again.
No, that shit would be perfect.
Maybe
if they did that.
Not
like,
only, and plus because they at Celebration, if I can remember, they played the first 2 episodes. So yeah. So
did they? Okay.
Yeah, at Star Wars Celebration, Sith apprentices are known to kill or attempt to kill their masters to ascend the ranks. That is true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 3 hours early.
Maybe that happens. She is his apprentice, and he ends up. She tries to betray Vader, and Vader kills her, and then everything woke YouTubers can be happy.
Well, do you guys want to know what the rumor is so far?
No.
Okay.
No. I know what it is. I've heard the rumor.
Because if it's true, it makes sense. And I was watching.
I want to know.
You want to know?
I want
DM it to him.
No.
DM it to him.
I will.
DM it to him. But yeah, I heard it because I remember we talked about it. But like to me, that's still not a bait and switch. It's like people are tripping. Like
no, but it makes sense if that's the road they're gonna go because.
Yeah, it does. It does. From
it
there, we're not saying anything, LB.
That,
You're
right?
not. Yeah, it does make sense just based off what we're seeing.
Yeah,
and to me, it works. But like that doesn't make a show about some other people. People are stupid,
Absolutely.
But
they just want. I'm sorry, man, but and I'm just gonna say it. It's just because they don't like to see these black characters like this for some reason.
They don't want to see black women.
When you get
black men, see how Finn got undermined.
Yes, when you want to fucking make those comments like nerdrotic, because he was married to a black man, they made him look like. When you get those things, how can you not say you're being racist? Like, how can you not say that? I'm sorry, but
One thing got too many good black people. Next thing, the
right.
black person's too bad, and
Yes. And then you're making the white person look small because his girl married a black man. Like, that's racist stuff. I'm
Wah,
sorry.
wah.
You guys can sit there and
Wah,
talk
wah.
about, well, we're not racist, but yes, those comments are racist.
Yeah,
Very.
they are. It is like it's bad because race. This no, nope.
Because
You know
she
what I
is
mean?
it's like they're reading off their script. Diversity shield.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Absolutely.
This is
Word.
why Hollywood will never progress.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then my other thing is like, because he leaves his post from Luke, right? It was he just forgot all about Luke.
Mm,
no, clearly he didn't. He even said he couldn't leave Luke because of this. He was
right.
trying really hard not to leave.
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
Clearly, he didn't forget about him.
they guilt tripped him into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, as much as I don't like, you know what I said, like when Luke and Leia having that interaction, the reason why he leaves makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because Leia is just as important as Luke. So it
Yes,
makes
she
sense
is.
that Obi-Wan would have to go and rescue her too. It's just when you do that, you're taking away the continuity of the movies, and that's the problem that I have with it. But it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense why he went to go save Luke. Oh,
So
there.
now we went through a bunch of negative things about what people have said, right? I want to hear, as we, get ready to wrap up and went through all the negative, right? I want to hear some of the things that you really, really liked in episode 1 and 2. Anzo,
Ooh.
he said, "Ugh."
Okay.
Oh,
Well, some of the music I
Uh oh,
didn't
let
have.
everybody let's cancel him. He's on the on this train. It's like,
No, I didn't have a problem with some of the music. I thought the music felt more Star Warsy than any other shows that they did. The little girl who played Leia, I thought she was good. I didn't have a problem with her. No people say she was annoying and stuff like that. I didn't get that from her. Um, of course, Ewan McGregor put the work down. He did his job. He was great. Um, Other than that, man, I mean, the show is good, but it's not amazing to me. So, and then and I just gotta say that I watched the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things, and it blows this out the water.
I don't watch Stranger Things.
I need.
Oh,
I
you
haven't
should.
started it yet.
Oh, you should. It's good.
It's not for me. It's not.
I got
It's
you.
not
so
really.
good. It's so
It is good though. I mean, the third
It's in the
season for me
80s.
wasn't
I
that
could just
great.
go like, I think Ray made a great point last night. He's like, instead of stuff that like is set in the 80s, I could just go watch like The Breakfast
80s
Club or
shows.
different 80s films that I love,
Yeah,
but
but the
I don't know.
80s is
Breakfast
such a.
Club is great too, but
I know
It
that
is,
it has
and
like a whole other element to it, but
yeah, I'm just
it's
saying the
not.
80s stuff is not like that important in the show, to be honest with you.
yeah,
It's
it's not
just,
like
yeah, it takes
putting
place.
80s in your face. Like, yeah,
Right.
look,
Yeah.
80s. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just
It's not like Wonder Woman 84, 80, 80, 80s,
Oh
80s, 80s,
no,
80s,
no, no,
80s,
No, it's
no.
not that
and
bad.
80s.
No, it's
80s.
not that
Look at the
bad.
80s.
80s. So, Dion, what were some of the positive things that you enjoyed about episode 1 and 2 here?
No, I have quite a few actually. For people that think I'm hating, I'm not.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I know. I just gotta say for the people that think I'm a hater because apparently I hate everything. I actually like
It's
a lot of
always
things.
good to criticize these things that we like. I mean, you can still like something and find criticisms with it.
Absolutely,
Not
absolutely.
possible according to the internet.
No,
For
it's
real.
either you love it or you hate
You
it.
hate it,
There is
yeah.
no in between.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I agree with Enzo that the music in this show is really really good as well. The little things like they changed the music for the weird Disney plus Star Wars intro that they do. They have different music for that. I like that. Um, Ian McGregor, it felt like he didn't miss a beat. Like he literally
Mhm.
just came off of the prequels. He was great in this. They brought back the long hair for him. I really liked that. Um, Joel Edgerton as Uncle Owen was also great. Oh my goodness, man!
I
So
love that. Like this, great scenes. Sorry,
So
Gail, continue. I
no,
agree.
I
I
agree.
agree.
Very good scenes. And I loved when when the Inquisitors were intimidating everyone in the town, and he was standing up against them. Like, I do not hate Marvel. I have criticisms. That's all I have. It's not a perfect franchise that everyone thinks it is. It has problems. Y'all need to take your fanboy glasses off for that one. But anyway, back to Star Wars. And by the way, even the weakest Star Wars show is better than all the Marvel shows we're getting right now. So shut your mouth. Yeah, I said it. I said
it's
it.
not.
I
No,
said it.
no,
I said it.
no. You're
No, the
wrong.
Marvel shows suck. They suck.
WandaVision
Anyway,
is elite.
WandaVision sucks.
Mando is the best Disney Plus show. Okay,
No,
Like
WandaVision is
Mando's
right
like
here.
all the way up here, like all the way up to the ceiling right here, and
no,
then WandaVision's like
no.
right here, like right here,
Right there.
like right there. No, not going with you with that.
Moon
But
Knight is
now Moon Knight is like
down there
down to the
somewhere.
ground.
It's down there with the snakes and the flowers and the dope.
Yep,
It's not doing too good.
just bury it. Anyway.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is the best one so far.
More power to you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I liked when Uncle Owen was confronting the Inquisitors. That was great scene as well. And of course, the really good exchange he has with Obi-Wan. The Inquisitors, though, like, I know going into the show, people were like complaining about how they looked, their design was really bad, but like in the context of the show, they looked a lot better. Like with the Grand Inquisitor, people were complaining that, what do you have human eyes for? His head's not long enough. There's a species in Revenge of the Sith that's just like him, and he doesn't look like him. Why? Hey, he looks weird. But no, in this show, he looked great. I think they did some post production on his eyes. Like whenever he gets really emotional or like gets angry, then his eyes turn. It's like that was really nice little touch there. I really wish we could have got to see more of them. And then, we don't know what's going on with Reva stabbing Grand Inquisitor. I hope it doesn't mean she killed him, because that's a huge contradiction of continuity if that's the case. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I do like Leia. Let me just preface that. I do like Kid Leia. She was cute. She did have her annoying moments here and there, but I still enjoyed her. I thought she was nice. It was nice to see Bail Organa again. It's
Oh yeah.
very, very nice. This dude doesn't age.
I mean, like Jimmy Smith is like, I think he's one of the most beautiful human beings ever existed on the planet.
There he goes. Same thing.
I mean, it's Jimmy Smith. I have to say it for him. He's beautiful. You know?
I got you.
Oh, one person I don't think anyone has ever talked about when I heard them review the show. Kimojani, is that his name?
Yes, yeah. What'd you think of him?
He was fine.
I think he was like a good comic relief.
I guess. I didn't expect.
I mean, is he going to be in the show more than that? Because they made a big deal about the fact that he was in it. So, is that all you're going to do?
I hope that's not all he has to do. Like, I already didn't like him that much in Eternals, so it's like, please don't give me a simple.
So yeah, he was the one thing I did like about Eternals. One of the few things I liked was him. Like, I didn't like his reason why he left. Like, hey guys, I'm not fighting. Bye guys. I didn't like the exit. I thought that, but I didn't like that. But I like him, and I thought that I liked his humor. I liked it when he was like, "Yes, please don't tell anybody I'm a Jedi," and then Obi-Wan comes in there. And he was like, "Oh, what's the fee?" And he was like, "That for 500 credits." I thought that was so great. He was like, "I just have a small fee," I thought that he was great, but I hope that he does more, than that in the show. Yeah, because they did make a big deal about him being in the show, so he's got to be in more than that.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, we'll see.
And that was one of your positives, DL.
Well, okay. Well, I will say no, one more thing. The look of the show. It's probably the most cinematic Star Wars show we've gotten. Like, it's very close to movie quality. I didn't really see any effects that was like, oh, okay, that didn't look that great, or like that could have been better. Like all the effect shots, the environments, they looked really really good, especially when they were in that town. It looked like they were in a different place. Like with
Yeah.
the other shows, like it's mostly been desert,
Tatooine,
forest,
Tatooine, Tatooine,
forest. Yep.
Tatooine, Tatooine. Hey,
Hey,
Tatooine.
yeah, exactly. So
But,
it was nice to be in a different city for once, So, yeah.
I know, I agree. I was like, as much as I like the hopelessness and the vastness of Tatooine, it's just like, okay, let's show me something else. Really, it's a lot of Tatooine going on, right? So I
There's a lot of
agree.
planets.
Lots of them. But so that was good. I agree. I was really excited to see them in a new location. And it looked really cool, like this cool vibe, like underground, really dirty, gritty, like city. And it was really cool. So I really like seeing that.
Mhm. And
Anzo, did you? Or would you?
no,
Would
I'm
you
done.
have
I'm done.
anything?
Yep.
Anzo, were you gonna add anything else?
No.
Okay. LB, what were your positives for the episode? And then I have a
Um,
question in the chat that I want to ask you guys too.
First of all, I have to say, the recap of the first three movies,
Facts.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh,
man,
I love
bruh,
that.
that set the whole tone for it. That thing was so fire. I was like,
Yes, I love
man.
it.
But I really enjoyed this. Just I felt the first. I liked the first episode more than the second one, but I felt like the first one I was back into, like I was right back after episode 3 in the Clone Wars, right back into the Star Wars universe. Like I mean, I don't really have any negatives, man. Like Ewan McGregor did great. Um, I I enjoyed like little lines here and there, such as like the Grand Inquisitor. He was talking about patience, right? As far as what the Inquisitors do is hunting Jedi's, and Reva was like impatient, but like the timeline was 10 years later, so he's like, look, man, we're gonna take as long as we need to take, but we're gonna do these type of things, stuff like that. And then I like DL mentioned about the quality of the show. Like this, you could tell like they wasn't playing any games with this one. Like they wasn't going to shortchange anything. They're like, look, we got Ewan McGregor. We're gonna bring Hayden Christensen back, so we need to make sure this budget looks as close to a Star Wars movie as possible. I thought the direction was good, apart from like obviously the chase scenes, but the young Leia actress, I thought she was Leia. Like I thought that was I was watching. I was like, yeah, that's a young Leia slash Padme. And I mean, for me, I mean, I don't know if I was on the sugar high or what, but I felt like this was so far the best Star Wars series that they've put out on Disney Plus. Like I really enjoyed it, and I'm skeptical about the rest of the season because so far all the Star Wars and Marvel shows have fizzled out for me. But I'm optimistic based off of this because I wasn't even excited for this show at all. So like they exceeded my expectations.
For me, I feel like it's off to a great start. Just like I agree with pretty much everyone. The first episode to me was almost flawless, especially the way it opened. Like to me, that was. I mean, that sets the tone. And it also is. I mean, for people who know these films and the prequels, it like puts you back in that mindset and gets you back in that place. But it also is also maybe can bring in a new audience, who needs that rundown, and maybe they haven't seen these films, and maybe because of this they can go back and watch it. So I thought that it was good all around. It was very smart. It kind of puts you back into this world. And Obi-Wan, and I know a lot of people, well, Mecha, random, it's like, I don't like this idea of him being this broken hero. But like, to me, it makes sense, after the events and where he's at. He feels very guilty for, he believes that Anakin is dead, and he believes that he feels very guilty for the path that he's went down, like the stuff with Padme, all of these things. He feels very guilty in trying to protect Luke and watch over him. He and then also feeling like, they'd lost this fight, right? And he's kind of gave up on, being a Jedi. And I know a lot of people talk about how can he not sense Vader in the Force, and then him not being able to use his Force abilities. He gave up. Like for 10 years, he had not channeled any of that stuff. And I thought that all of the stuff that Ewan McGregor did, just like you felt like not necessarily and yes, he's broken in the sense that he feels so guilty, but it makes sense from where we left off. Like, is he just going to be like this happy go lucky? Of
Right.
course he needs to evolve and change, and he's got to get back to that same place, right? And I think that this is the beginning for his character to heal and to get there. So for me, episode 1, I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed little Layla. I thought that she was great. Episode 2, it was just
The
I
kiddie
liked
Star Wars.
it. I liked it, but there were a lot of things that were happening. I feel like the end of the episode gave it a big boost for me. But I feel like the ending of it I really enjoyed a lot, but there was a lot of silliness. There was a lot of silliness in the episode, and it was just like direction, like a lot of the things that they were doing from a directional standpoint that didn't work for me, really.
So to follow up on what you were saying about it wouldn't make sense. Like I don't see why people are complaining. Like, just think about you as a person. If you're great at something, like say you're great at drawing, and you just stop drawing for 10 years, and then you come back to drawing after 10 years, you're not going to be the same kind of artist that you was 10 years ago. So like, I don't know why people are complaining about Obi-Wan not being this elite Jedi 10 years later after he said, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't do this because Master Yoda instructed me to isolate and watch over Luke. Like, nitpicking.
Yeah. And speaking, I do want to get to this question. The first part, he says, here we go. Did Yoda study and become a Jedi and train using Sith practices, then return to the Jedi side because to know your enemy is key to victory? Because I think Yoda looks very Sith-like, powerful but physically withered. He's old, yes, but I think there is more to Yoda in his immense Force powers.
Oh, he getting deep.
Oh boy.
And this is DL.
I mean, I mean, let's also keep in mind he's the only one that can deflect Force lightning, so that must mean something, right? But no, seriously, I feel like that might be a possibility, but I don't think he learned like too much because I don't see a lot of dark side tendencies with him. So I don't know about the theory fully. But it's I guess a possibility. I think people will be in an uproar if they were like, "Oh, Yoda learned the dark side." No, that shouldn't be. He's the pure essence of the light side and nothing more. He's the amalgamation of the Jedi. He should not learn any dark side stuff. But I'm like,
I don't know, bro. He did run away and just let the Jedi to die. He's like, I gotta
And
go exile.
And you have to think
I
about
failed.
like them is, we don't know a lot about, his race and a lot about them, which is, intentional. But Grogu, if you even think about Grogu a little bit, like he has like this hidden darkness in him. Like if you think about it, especially with him eating the tadpoles and things. So I wonder if it's just like something, naturally where they have this natural ability where where there's both sides, that's how I've always thought about it, but I don't know.
So from what I know, no, Yoda has never used the dark side. Mace Windu has. So
What you trying to
Yoda's
say,
never
bruh?
I'm just saying
from a lightsaber,
what
bro.
he used. Mace Windu supposedly has tapped into the dark side of the Force.
It's another comment. It says it makes the most sense that Obi-Wan isn't an elite Jedi, especially if you take in consideration the Jedi Fallen Order and the implication that cutting yourself off from the Force.
True.
Exactly.
See, that is my problem, though. The cutting yourself off from the Force. I don't like that. I didn't like it in the sequels. I don't like it in this. I don't think that the Jedi's, if you're not going to use it, fine. But to say that you're cutting yourself off from it, I don't like that.
Is there an
I
off
never did.
switch?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
S- s-
It's that's not what the Force is.
So
Bert says Yoda trash. Never forget.
I know Yoda is trash. I was going to make a video years ago about Yoda being trash and break it down, but I never did it.
Damn.
I can still do it.
Do it.
Windu, I think like did hardest of dark side tendencies, especially in the way he fights. He's the only one with the purple lightsaber, so I'm like, I definitely can see that with him.
But that's EU stuff, right? So
I
take
guess.
it how you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't know anything about that stuff. Perk
Same
says,
here.
would you all be against young Mace Windu series?
No, I would not.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
but knowing Disney, they'll hire a light skinned actor to be Mace Windu.
Oh, they better not. They better not.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
watching it. I'm not watching it. If there's a light skinned Windu, I'm not watching it.
Shit,
I don't care how good it is.
I wouldn't even mind if they did a Samuel Jackson Mace Windu movie and said he survived the prequels and showed
Survive the prequels, yeah.
Yeah, and showed what happened with him and then he dies in it or something like that. I'd be cool with that.
I would.
So earlier Perk had the comment saying that it looks the same like to Mandalorian. The quality looks the same to Mandalorian. Now
No.
I was going to point out, like DL say, all right, just look at some of the scenes in like Mandalorian when they're in the sand areas, like in the neighborhood, and then look at it compared to Obi-Wan. Like you could tell like they're like on a stage somewhere with Mandalorian. This it didn't look that way. It didn't stand out.
There's one scene in The Mandalorian where he goes to meet Cara Dune and Carl Weathers' character, and you can clearly see that it's a green screen. You can clearly see it. It's very bad.
And I think the technology has improved too. So
Absolutely.
Or they put more money into it.
Higher. Oh yeah, this definitely has a higher budget. Like
Oh yeah.
light skin
Definitely.
Mace Windu. Devin
No.
thought that was funny. No. Let's be like another light skin rogue. I mean, not Rogue, said Rogue Storm. I'm thinking of Storm. That'd be horrible.
Now I got a question for y'all. Since they were dropping hints in the first episode, do you guys think we're gonna get Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force ghost? You
I
think we're gonna see
fucking
Liam Neeson or
I
hear
hope
Liam
not.
Neeson?
I would love
hope-
it.
I hope I would too. Love it. I hope not, because we have a bet that if he's gonna show up or not.
Oh,
And I said no. So when he was calling Qui-Gon, I was sitting there and I was watching. I was like, no.
Seriously, Liam? We're about to get Liam.
I
like I'm about to lose my bet.
Pop
So
off.
if
and I was
you
like,
what's gonna happen if you lose this bet? Do you have to do something, or is it just like
no, it's just bragging
gentleman's bet?
rights. Yeah,
Just a
bragging
gentleman's
rights.
bet.
Mhm.
I thought maybe you had to
No,
dye your hair purple
no.
or something.
I only make them bets with Nerd Man.
Oh,
So the bet is like, if we see or hear new dialogue from Liam Neeson, then
yeah. Anything new from him? Yeah.
Strange Marvel Theory says, I still hold the theory that like Palpatine, masters learn to create life. I think Yoda reincarnated himself as a younger form of Grogu. That would be interesting.
bro, y'all going way too deep.
Yeah.
How about
That is-
Grogu is his own character? How about that? What a concept. He's his own
Or-
character. Doesn't have to go through the same development as Yoda because they're both the same species. Let him be his own thing, please.
Or Grogu is the son of Yoda and Myrtle or whatever. Yordle or whatever.
So what
Yaddle?
you're trying to tell me is that Finn isn't Mace Windu's son or grandson?
Absolutely not.
And
I would be even more mad if
Hold
that's
on.
the case.
Reva, I think, man, I'm just thinking now. Maybe Reva is Mace Windu's daughter,
Oh God.
and
Could
she
be.
blames him.
Could be.
all these Jedi having kids.
That
she-
would be the problem, though.
She blames Obi-Wan for her father's death.
But you know what? Hey, it would kind of like, listen, let's say.
I hope they.
No.
I would.
No,
hate
hear this one.
that.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Let's say it was, right? Now you would see why Anakin never really trusts the Jedi, because they're saying no attachment, but yet pure Jedis are having kids and shit. You know what I mean? So they're not even following the rules. So it would kind of make Anakin like, yeah, well, maybe that's why he changed a
I
little
mean,
bit easier.
what a contradiction though too. If like it was the crazy theory that Reva is Windu's daughter when Windu was giving Anakin shit in Revenge of
Yes,
the Sith about
I
exactly.
his
know.
Right,
He was on.
exactly.
You
Bruh,
hypocrite.
look, they
He
going
he
to
say he's gonna
listen.
say, "Do it as I say, not as I
They're
do."
gonna have a
Yes.
flashback scene, right? They're gonna replay when Palpatine killed Mace Windu, and then Reva's gonna be in the corner watching.
You know?
Devin also said, "Yes, absolutely. Qui-Gon Jinn is returning."
Hold on,
I
hold
hope
on,
so.
hold on. Now I'm thinking that is how Reva would know that Anakin is Vader.
True.
I'm
True.
done.
True.
Lucasfilm, Disney, please don't.
I'm the new Mike Zero. I'm the Black Mike Zero, people.
Hey, but at least it sticks with continuity, right? You know what I mean? So there you go.
As long as you work around it, it's you know. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
but like all these Jedi having kids, come on.
Mhm.
Reva had binoculars from the Jedi Temple. I mean, makes sense. Daniel Hot Topics, was Kenobi good? I heard that it really sucked. To me, it's good. The first episode is top notch. Second episode, decent.
It's
I
not
would say.
horrible,
I
Daniel.
agree.
Not
Um,
horrible.
so Anzo is when it comes to Star Wars, he's bitter sometimes. I feel like Anzo, like every time, be like, nah, that's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
because I guess I just expect it to be on a higher level than it is.
I
And
know.
what Disney is doing with it is just like, come on, no, man. You know what I mean? No. Like
Are you sure you're not in the fandom menace?
I could be. I literally
He is. He's trying to
when I
include
watch
all these.
freaking Boba Fett, I'm like, where the fuck is the Star Wars music? Like, they have an episode where there's like this punk rock type of music
That's
when they
like
have the
that,
black dude in it.
yeah,
I'm like,
that
But
what
like
is
Mandalorian
this?
house music.
but wait, Mandalorian didn't have typical Star Wars music. Why is
Yeah, I
this
know.
any different?
I didn't like Mandalorian for that reason. But at least the Star Wars music in this felt a little bit more like Star Wars because John Williams at least had a hand in it. But
I mean,
that is
yeah,
such a nit.
see for me, the music is different in Mando. I like the music in Mando.
No,
Yeah,
for me,
I even like the music in Boba Fett. I
no.
thought
Oh, well, that's horrible.
Hey,
Oh,
I
no,
did.
that's
that
horrible.
Mandalorian theme is fire, Anzo. Don't front, bro.
Yeah, that
No, it's
Mandalorian
not.
theme
It's
is
not
fire.
that great. It's not that good. No,
Bro,
when it comes
that
to
theme is
Star
fire.
Wars,
Man, I know what I'm in
when
on.
it
That
comes
is
to
fire,
when it comes to
dude.
Star Wars, it's you want to see lightsaber battles, you want to get the story, and then you need the music. Star Wars music has always been a big part of these movies, and the music in these shows suck ass.
It's time to switch it up. We've done the same thing for over 30 years.
I
It's
love
time
Keep it
to
going.
do something
Keep it going.
different.
If it ain't broke, don't try to
Boba
fix it.
Fett music, I can on a lot of I feel that like house music. I didn't like that stuff.
I'm in the minority of the Boba Fett music. That's fine. But to say that no Star Wars show can have different music, like because we're used to the same thing over and over again, like come on now. Like,
Hey, listen, if you go watch Clone Wars, right, the cartoon, the animated series, they do different Star Wars music, but everything in that series sounds like Star Wars. That's the difference. When you get these shows, it doesn't sound like Star Wars music. You could switch it up, you could do different things, but it has to sound like Star Wars music, and these shows don't. They just don't. So I think this one is the closest one to me.
He's a Star Wars snob. So, any
Yeah.
final
Yes,
thoughts
I am.
about MechaRandom? Anything? Oh, the last thing I did want to talk about is before I remember like everyone, Moses Ingram, like they kind of talked to her and said, warned her that she might get this online backlash, right? And Ryan Cannell, he made a video saying Disney hates Star Wars fans, just for them warning her that this might happen because they know how fandoms are and they know that there's this crazy fandom. So all they did really was prove that they were right with everything that we're seeing, and with the people that are saying, what, I'm watching it for free, I'm bootlegging the show, you know, diversity, bait and switch, with the show. They warned her, and then they spun the narrative that Disney is doesn't like their fans, and we're all paid Disney bots, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that amazing? Have you all got y'all's check from Disney this week?
No.
Yeah, I
Nope.
did,
I,
and
I,
that's why I
You,
never have to work again.
I wish my
I
Disney
ain't got
stock
none
would.
yet.
I wish my Disney stock would rise a little bit. That 108 is not good right now.
Facts.
I mean, I'm
That
getting
is true, chill.
I'm getting extra checks from all the love I'm giving these Marvel shows.
Yeah, DC is paying you well.
Yeah, you got a long way to go before you get this Marvel check, because you be
Yeah,
you,
I be trashing the.
Well,
you might get a check for. You said some good things about Doctor Strange and the
Yeah, Doctor
Multiverse
Strange.
Man.
There,
I'm
give
gonna
me
tell
that.
Kevin to send you $15.
$50. Fair enough. They'll probably
Yeah.
ask for the $15 back when we see Thor: Love and Thunder, though.
Hey,
but you,
yes, or
Yeah,
maybe you could use that for your Disney Plus.
I will do my best to see that movie for free. That one I will
See?
see for free.
So that means wait
Anyway,
for Disney Plus.
no.
yeah,
Watch when it kills it. LB, do you have anything final to
yeah.
say?
I was gonna say it's like like you said, they prove they prove people's point. Like what's wrong with warning someone of something that's going to happen that has been happening since the Last Jedi came out, right?
For real.
It's like these people, especially MechaRandom, like we brought it to her attention. Like, look, we don't appreciate you saying this about black people. She basically is like, whatever, I don't care, what I don't care. It's like it just shows the lack of respect these people have for
Facts.
us, right?
Facts.
It's like we approach her nicely, and she's like, nah, f you. Like what? Like and
Yes.
unfortunately that is the society we live in, and that's just a lot of white folk out there. They feel like they're above us, and they feel like we're all in our feelings, and instead of having a little inch of respect for another person, they're just like, nah, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. And it needs to stop, especially on YouTube. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I agree.
and yeah, I agree with not giving it life, but this for me, I remember seeing that, LV's tweet, and it just, after already seeing like the Ghetto Inquisitor stuff, and that just like pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? Because outside of the issue, when we kind of talked about Neurotic, when he had some other very dumb bullshit ass shit to say, when it comes to like these YouTubers, it's really not part of the discussion for me, because I don't care what you're doing on your channel with your content, right? Really. And I don't want to speak negatively about you and try to give you life. But if I see something that I feel that is completely disgusting, especially something, and I was extremely offended by it, like, especially people attacking this black woman, it's something that is, I've experienced it, just in my life, and I am not in a television show on Disney Plus. So imagine how this actress who got like kind of like this big opportunity to be in this television show, right? And she has to worry about backlash online. And then you hear people like MechaRandom who are gaslighting people like, killing Marie Tran and saying, nobody forced her off Twitter. Nobody was mean to her. Nobody treated her in disgusting ways. It's like, stop with the bullshit, right?
They
And it's whatever to feed into that narrative, right? And Perp says, God forbid if they make a Star Wars series, it's predominantly black cast, they would riot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I talked
Oh,
about that when I
gosh.
talked about MechaRandom. I'm like, if they did that, right, and then say for example, the media website came out with headlines saying no more white people in Star Wars, they would throw fits forever on YouTube.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, like I mean, yeah, we can ignore them, or like even when we address it, like I just say to everybody, like, look, we can criticize this nonsense they're doing. Just don't stoop to their levels of insulting them and feed into what they're doing, because if we criticize what they're doing like adults, they got nothing to say.
Absolutely. And I'm like you guys, you guys know I come on here to have fun. It's not to call out people, but this when it gets to be this at this point, like it'll never stop if we don't say anything. You know what I mean? If we just sit there and say, "Oh, look, she's racist," blah, blah. No, we gotta start calling out this bullshit because it's going way too far now. It's like everything that we do. You know what I mean? You had Gordon in the Batman, woke. You had fucking the black girl in this, woke. It's like every time there's a black character, it's like, oh, they see they're doing it, they're pandering, they're pandering. Maybe
Race swapping.
sometimes they just want to fucking do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe they just want to do something different because they keep doing the same shit over and over again. People are going to get tired of that. So they do something different. And then maybe he was the best person for the job. Maybe with the budget that they were using for the show, she was the best person for the job. That could be a possibility too.
Yep.
And like Anzo here, or other people that I've spoke to, there's valid reasons why Anzo has an issue with Reva's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have those valid reasons. But if you're just giving to me, when you're using your buzzwords, your racially insensitive, racist terminology, ghetto, hood, angry, black, and in front of a black, we know what you're saying. We know what you mean.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And none of that is valid. Now, if you're talking about her performance, things that maybe the writing for her character, those are valid arguments. All right. And I will listen to anybody that has a valid argument. And a lot of people say, because now we're here and we're talking about, people criticizing her, that the next argument is always, oh, you can't criticize a black woman on screen. No, that's not what the fuck we're saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that very clear. You can criticize anyone's performance
Absolutely.
based off that performance. And do you have valid reasons outside of the fact that this person's a woman, this person's gay, and this person is black or Asian or whatever? Other than that, give me valid reasons why you don't like the performance.
Facts.
And if you're not giving me valid reasons, then it's just you're just spewing your hate speech at the end of the day. And I don't understand. And like, I did watch that one video of hers, and then the one with LB, because I wanted context for the Darkies thing, because I also didn't want to look at like a headline and not have that information. But I am telling you now, any video that she's made outside of those two videos, I will not watch it, because I'm not part of this. I hate watching shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my thing. They monetize hate. They watch this stuff so they can hate on it. But my thing is, if you really, really, outside of those people who are monetizing hate, if you have a true issue where it, bothers you to that point, just don't watch the shit, right?
Don't watch
Mm-hmm.
it.
That is the easiest thing for you to do. And that is my last thoughts on it. Anybody else have anything else they want to add?
No, I think that was perfect. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Don't watch it. That's how I've been doing.
I don't watch shit I don't like. You know what I mean?
I don't watch fucking Stranger Things, and I didn't watch Game of Thrones because I don't like that
Game
shit.
of Thrones.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones either.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I mean, I watch SVU and I hate it, but that's just a routine.
But why do you hate it though?
Because, man, it completely fell off. It's just, man, but
yeah,
it's, like,
it's not what it used to
But
be.
you used to like it.
Yes, it's just part of the routine.
Yeah. I feel you. I still watch The Flash, and The Flash has been like god awful the past couple seasons. But hey, I still watch it.
I don't understand why y'all watching this Arrowverse crap, but
I don't watch none of that.
Yeah.
I stopped watching The Flash after like season 3. It just once it got, I just couldn't. It just got too much. Iris.
Oop, I messed up the timeline again.
Miss me.
Oop, I messed up the timeline again.
Miss me with that. I couldn't.
I checked out of The Flash earlier. I was like, bruh, what's his name? Jesse L. Martin. And I was like, bruh, I can't do these caps you keep wearing, bruh. I'm out.
Yeah. And he's gone. He's not even on the show anymore. Planetary Federation of Union says people like Neurotic and Mecca really don't want to hear the black actor was the best for the role. I remember them bitching about the Witcher cast for Trish and Philippa. Yeah. Who else?
I mean,
This
it's not even so much the best person for the. They don't want to hear what black people do or hear or have to say about anything. That's just the facts of life, and it's sad.
Yes.
I fear for Hawkeye and Black Adam. Just saying. Actually, I fear for the Rock and Black Adam because that's another thing. I don't know.
No, they love The Rock. He's one of the
love The
safe
Rock.
ones.
He's
He's
one
one
of
of the
them.
safe ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hawkman, yeah, I'm afraid for him. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So, Anzo, what do you have coming up on your channel, my friend?
You do the chaos shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Danny shows Monday, mine's Tuesday. Chris's Wednesday. Then we do the OOC and tournaments on Fridays. That's about it, man. It's great, fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Of course. Thank you for being here, right?
Always. I don't work tomorrow, so you're lucky.
Yeah, well, look. Oh, yeah. It's the holiday. I'm not. I forgot it's a holiday. I got so many family things going on. I forgot. Oh, wait. We're usually doing something, but that ain't happening now, right now.
Right.
DL, what's going on with you?
Still trying to make my way through Marvel reviews. There's streams I keep scheduling.
Making your way down Marvel.
Yep. And the scheduling conflicts just keep happening. But you know what? I'm still gonna try and get these out before 11 Thunder.
Go watch some good movies, man. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You
need to go watch Better Call.
Maverick?
You need to go watch Better Call Saul.
No, I'm talking about the good MCU movies.
Oh,
Watch them.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
No Way
facts.
Home.
Facts.
And go watch Thor: Love and Thunder in July because it's about to be lit.
We'll see.
Even if you all hate, I can't wait. No, you can't skip
that one.
it.
You can skip.
You can't skip it because if both of you hate it, when we do our stream about it, it's going to be great.
I know I'm gonna hate it.
I can't. I really hope you both hate it.
I know I'm gonna hate
it because then we'll have a great discussion on what you didn't like.
What if you hate it?
Oh yeah, what if the Widow?
If I hate it, then we're all just up the creek without a paddle, and we're shit out of luck, guys. I don't think I'm gonna hate Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok is gonna be that movie. It's gonna be that bitch, right? It's gonna be that bitch. I'm telling you. Wait.
The one you hit one time and never call back.
No.
that's
I'm about to. I'm gonna call. I'll be like, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" Every day, I'm gonna call her. You know, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna see it multiple times. So I'm excited.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but is there any MCU movie you haven't seen multiple times? Yeah, that's what I thought.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Some less than others. You know.
How many times did you see Eternals?
I've seen it 3 times, unfortunately.
And that's like the worst one ever.
And Shang-Chi, I've seen it 3.
God.
I'm not big on those.
Oh, Shang-Chi was good.
Half of a good movie.
Yeah, half. I'd say
half
of a good movie.
Yeah.
What?
Trevor Satterley.
Yeah.
What are y'all smoking? Okay.
Yeah.
All
they
right.
go put him in there and remind us of that shitty ass fucking Iron Man 3
I
movie.
like that he was in it, but he was in it too freaking long.
What are you talking about?
And when I thought he was dead, I was like, for sure. And then he's like, I'm just playing. I was like, oh.
You was actually important to the plot.
What?
You actually have
to yes. But I'm talking about when they got to Talo, he did not need to be there.
That's true. I'll give you that. But
all of that, up until he didn't need to go. He did not need to be there. It just
he didn't even need to be the guide.
I like that he was there, but he was just like he did too much. He had too much screen time, and it just.
He wasn't in the way.
I think that I would have wanted to see other things from other characters, and it was just like the bit got old after a while.
Well,
like at first I was feeling it.
right? And he
I
was
was
the comic
feeling
relief.
it, but it just like it got old really quickly. Like, really, really
Other
quickly.
than me, because I wasn't feeling it at all. I was like, oh, fuck.
So the lonely banter, how many people on YouTube do you plan on pissing off this week?
I don't know. Hopefully 0.
these
We'll see.
these extremists on one end
Yeah.
that like to come in LB's comments and after he makes a video, right?
I'm debating making that the origins of Reva's beef with Obi Wan. I'm debating that. We'll see.
Do it.
Do it.
But I forgot to ask y'all. Do y'all remember the line when Grand Inquisitor was talking to her and he was like, "You're the least of us"?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did y'all feel some kind of way about that line?
Yeah, because of the black one, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now that you bring it up,
you know.
Yeah, I think upon it.
I'm
I
like,
could see where they would, it could be a double meaning there.
I'm sitting there like, hold on, bro. Did you just say that?
very poor choice of words.
Star Wars is racist.
No, we know that.
Working on, there. Hopefully, something will come very soon for that. Maybe ideas flowing through the brain. I got one idea, but
Good.
I got to come up with a short sleeve shirt because it's summertime. The idea I got is a long sleeve shirt. But yeah.
Y'all realize Jurassic World 3 is coming out in a couple weeks?
I don't give a shit.
I do.
At all. None.
I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. I mean, I care because Jeff Goldblum's coming back and like the original cast. So I love Jeff Goldblum. So I want it, but like,
I mean, I get it because Fallen Kingdom was awful, but
I don't even think I think I fell asleep on it.
I envy you. But if you guys follow my channel, I did do reviews on all the Jurassic World movies.
Yes, everybody here, you're not here. Put your link in the private chat. I'll go on
see
here.
if it works for me because it's weird with me. Let me see. I'm about to do it.
Get your link and I'll put it in the private. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Everybody subscribe to LB. Anzo, put yours in the chat. You can do your LB. I need LB's link.
All right, let me do that.
Let's put those links in the chat, guys. Subscribe to DL. He is, I was so, again, DL's one of these new, I've enjoyed talking to DL. Part of Movie Madness Entertainment. We're on there, and I like completely logged in the wrong StreamYard, guys. I was like, what? Why is my StreamYard mess up? But it's the wrong one, but it is all right. It's all good. So let me copy this. Copy link. Here is DL's. I'm going to put D. I am DL is the name of the channel. Right. And he did a really, really, really cool podcast. And it was the Shang-Chi review, wasn't it?
Yes.
That production. It was so cool because he had the pops, right? And it was like him and his so it was like the pops kind of like resembled, like, it was really cool the way that the production of that review is. So go check out DL. He does say some crazy things about the MCU, but he's a DC guy. But he is very passionate about his takes, and he tells you why he doesn't like it. So please subscribe to DL. DL is DL's really cool, and I put it in the wrong chat. Look at me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They know who's gonna find me.
Leave me alone. I didn't even realize I put it in the wrong one. Y'all know I'm goofy, okay? I'm goofy.
That's why we love it. That's why we love it.
Goofy or high, which one?
Both.
Yeah, me too.
Too. These days, I tell you.
Hey, I got a movie we can do a watch party for. I was watching a video on it, and I'm like, yeah, we should watch that.
What?
The Last Dragon.
What is that?
That's that Disney movie that just came out?
No. You guys don't know what the fucking Last Dragon is? Bruce Leroy?
Oh!
Is that like is it like Kung Fu or something?
Well, I mean, it's a kind of a black karate movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's like a black exploitation film, kind of like Like dynamite,
Yeah.
like dynamite, like
No. It's more serious than that. I
oh,
mean,
it's
it's kind
serious.
yeah. Well, there's comedy in it and stuff, but it's a little bit more than like the black exploitation stuff.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll
It
check it
was
out
done
as
by
long as it ain't
Barry
that
Gordy.
movie with sticky fingers.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that one too. I can't remember the
I love
name
how
of
you
it,
said
so
his
I
name
can't find it.
properly.
I'm like,
Sticky
fuck!
fingers.
I can't find the name of the. I don't remember the name of the fucking movie, so I can't find it. And I'm like, God damn, where's that movie?
Sticky fingers, right? Nice to
Fingers.
Sticky
say
Fingers.
fingers,
Fingers.
fingers,
Yo,
fingers.
shit pissed me off because last Saturday there was a versus with fucking Onyx and fucking Cypress Hill, and they put that shit on a pay-per-view between a boxing match, so nobody really got to see it, and it was supposed to be fire. And then they did the which one did they do the other day? Fucking UGK and someone else.
And
But
you
Right.
yeah,
streamed that
man.
one. I
They
saw some of that.
I
they
tried to stream it, man. My shit was fucking up, and I just got pissed off and turned it off.
What was you gonna say, LB?
no, I was gonna say they did 8 Ball and MJG, and I didn't know
A-
about it
eight
until
ball,
the
yeah.
hour into the stream.
Yes,
Right.
me too. And you know what's funny? Because I'm on Triller, right? So I got a notification and I seen something. I clicked on it, was like a little video or whatever. Didn't watch it. I was at work. I said, oh, whatever. And I got home and I'm chilling. And I'm like, wait a minute. Versus is going on? And I clicked on it and I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? So two of them I missed. But I would have really liked to see the Cypress Hill and Onyx one, man. That one I really wanted to see.
Well, maybe one day Weezer and Green Day will have one. That'd be fun,
Who?
wouldn't it?
Who?
Weezer and Green Day.
Who the fuck are they?
Hold on, they're doing a versus with them too.
No, I'm like, who are they?
Maybe one day it'd be tight, wouldn't it?
Oh,
I think it would be.
right.
Who are they?
That is not for the culture.
You know what I mean?
I like
Like,
them.
like, who the hell are you talking about?
I have no idea
No
what's
one
going
wants to
on,
see.
so.
No one wants to see that shit.
We're just wrapping up.
You talking
Anyway,
about battle rappers? Like who
battle rappers. It's like a versus thing. Also,
Okay.
this week, hopefully we have some great news coming on because like outside of Star Wars and Top Gun, last week was dry. So hopefully some cool things will happen. Maybe somebody will do something. Something will be announced, right?
Black Adam trailer is supposed to come on the.
Oh
8th.
yes,
yeah,
that's
Black
coming.
Adam
And
too.
but
I am so
Yeah.
ready.
yeah, so we'll have the what day? That's the 8th,
The
right?
8th, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 8th, we got that. The boys is coming. The boys, the boys, the boys, the boys, the boys, the boys, the boys.
When?
I
the
gotta
boys,
start
the boys, the boys.
watching the
June
boys.
When?
3rd, June 3rd. The boys, the boys, the
June
boys,
3rd?
the boys, the boys.
I should probably
So
start.
that, oh
season
my
1 and
gosh,
2.
I forgot about the boys. So we got the boys coming. We'll be back, Saturday. And these guys here hopefully will be here.
Well,
And
I
we'll
gotta
be
watch.
playing trivia.
I should probably catch up on season 1 and 2, shouldn't I?
Hey, even if we don't talk about the boys, you got to play movie fights.
Oh no.
Yes, we have to play that again.
Yes, Devin, I
Oh,
love them.
boy.
See, Devin knows they're fine. Weezer and
Bro,
Green Day,
you can't you
fine.
can't do a Weezer and Green Day versus like.
They might work. I would love it.
I don't even know who the fuck they are.
I'll send you some songs. I'll send you some songs. So,
Green Day the band.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So hopefully,
Anzo, I know who they are, but I'm telling you, it would not work.
I'm just gonna love it when I send him some songs. He's
Probably
gonna
not.
love it. Love it, 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 love it. But anyways, so this week, hopefully, maybe there might be a stream Tuesday. We might be doing Dot Nash. We have to figure out how that's going to go. And then Saturday, we'll be back for games and fun and all the like, right? And discussions and videos throughout the week for me. That is the plan, Stan, right? And you know what? We're about to be up out of here. I'm your girl, Ashley, aka ThaWidow. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Peace.